Imagine this. You are standing in front of someone who gives you butterflies in your stomach. Words pile up in your mind, but you don't know what to say. The fear of rejection paralyzes you. You wonder if you should be more outgoing, more charming, or if you simply don't have what it takes to truly connect. The result is the same, a disconnection, a feeling of emptiness, and the doubt about whether you will ever manage to show your true self without fear or insecurities. You are not alone in this feeling. In a world where everyone seems to have magical formulas for seduction, many end up feeling insufficient, lost in a sea of unrealistic expectations and superficial advice. But what if I told you that the secret is not in tricks or perfect words? What if you could conquer from a place of calm, authenticity, and confidence born from mastering your thoughts and emotions? The philosophy of Stoicism, with over 2,000 years of wisdom, can completely transform your approach to the art of seduction. Through these Stoic rules, you will learn how to connect genuinely, overcome the fear of rejection, and leave an unforgettable impression, all from a place of tranquility and authenticity. In this Stoic session, I will show you how to apply 9 strategies deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy that will not only transform the way you approach others, but also how you understand yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's not about winning someone's attention, but about creating an authentic connection based on respect, understanding, and mutual value. So, if you are ready to discover a completely different approach to the art of seduction, stay with me, because the final point will make you rethink everything you thought you knew. In a world where so many voices distract, this space seeks to help you connect with yourself. If you value this opportunity and want to inspire others to discover their inner strength, give this a like and subscribe. Every click helps us spread this Stoic wisdom further. Without further ado, let's begin. Stoic Key 1. The power of a genuine smile. In a world full of masks and superficialities, real human connection has become as valuable as it is rare. We want to connect with others, but too often we act as if our feelings are something we need to hide or disguise. We lock ourselves in invisible armor, believing that by protecting ourselves, we will avoid rejection or discomfort. However, what we actually achieve is isolating our emotions, missing the opportunity to establish authentic relationships. This is where the power of something as simple as a genuine smile comes into play. Far from being a trivial gesture, a smile has a profound impact on how others perceive us and, more importantly, on how we feel about ourselves. The Stoics understood this intuitively. They taught us that small acts, those that often go unnoticed, are the ones with the power to transform not only our interactions, but also our perspective on life. A genuine smile, they say, is the bridge that connects hearts. But why does a smile have so much power? Beyond being an expression of happiness, it is a sign of openness and confidence. It is a gesture that says, I am here, willing to listen, willing to connect. In a world where most compete to stand out with grand gestures or elaborate phrases, a smile can stand out as a beacon of sincerity. It is a silent invitation that communicates more than words ever could. Imagine this. You are in a coffee shop, sipping your favorite drink, and suddenly you notice someone who catches your attention. Instead of looking away or acting indifferent, you lift your head, make eye contact, and smile. What happens at that moment? Without saying a word, you've already conveyed interest, confidence, and a touch of curiosity. That smile could be the start of a conversation, or simply the beginning of a positive impression that person will have of you. Stoicism teaches us that our actions should be intentional, not impulsive. Smiling is not an act we should take lightly. It must come from a place of sincerity, from an authentic desire to connect. This is where the difference lies between a genuine smile and a superficial one. A forced smile can generate distrust, while a genuine one opens doors. The Stoics spoke of living in accordance with virtue, and authenticity is one of the most underrated virtues in our daily interactions. But how can we take this beyond a simple smile? The real magic happens when you combine that gesture with other Stoic tools, such as patience and self-control. It's not about rushing or appearing desperate for others' attention. A smile should be the starting point, but you also need to build an atmosphere of genuine interest. For example, if someone says something funny, instead of laughing automatically, let the laughter arise naturally. Maintain eye contact, let the moment unfold, and then add a comment that shows you truly care about what that person has to say. Patience also plays a key role here. The Stoics believed that many of the best things in life require time and a deliberate approach. This includes our relationships. It's not about forcing interactions, but about letting them flow organically. Think of human connection as a fire that needs to be kindled slowly. A smile is the spark, but you need to nurture it with subtle and consistent gestures that convey interest and respect. And what if you're in a conversation? This is where the art of full presence, an essential principle of Stoicism, comes into play. The Stoics encourage us to be completely immersed in the present moment, and this especially applies to our interactions. If you're talking to someone, dedicate your full attention to that person. Ask questions, listen actively, and respond sincerely. A smile combined with this full presence not only strengthens the connection, but also leaves a lasting impression. The true Stoic lesson is that you don't need to be perfect to connect. It's not about memorizing clever phrases or performing grand gestures. Instead, it's about being yourself, showing your humanity and vulnerability in a way that invites others to do the same. A smile is just the beginning, but when combined with authenticity, patience, and genuine interest, it becomes a powerful tool for building meaningful relationships. Finally, remember this: a smile not only transforms how others perceive you, but also how you perceive yourself. When you smile, you are sending a message to your brain that you are in control, that you are open to the possibilities life has to offer. This small gesture can change the tone of your day and that of those around you. So don't underestimate the power of a smile. It's a small action with immense impact, and as the Stoics would say, it is in the simplest details where the deepest truths are found. Stoic Key 2: the art of breaking the ice. Naturally, few things are more nerve-wracking than approaching someone and starting a conversation. It's a challenge many face with a racing heart and a mind that seems to go blank. However, the Stoics teach us that control over our emotions and actions is fundamental to overcoming situations like this. The key: approach the moment with calmness, authenticity, and a natural focus. Breaking the ice isn't a Herculean task or an impossible mission. It's an act of human connection. But why does it feel so difficult? Often the pressure to make a good impression or the fear of rejection blocks us. Stoicism invites us to set aside these external worries and focus on what we can control: our attitude and our words. The first step to mastering this art is to stop searching for the perfect phrase. Forget about those prefabricated lines that sound like they're from a movie script. They only come across as fake and build barriers instead of opening doors. Instead, focus on the present moment. Observe your surroundings and use what's happening as a starting point. If you're at a bar, you could mention something about the music playing. If you're at an event, a casual comment about the atmosphere can be the spark that ignites a genuine conversation. For example, imagine you're at a cafe and notice someone who catches your eye. Instead of freezing up, you could say something like, "This place always has an interesting vibe, don't you think?" Or if you're at a party, you might observe, It seems the DJ has peculiar taste. Do you like this music? These comments aren't just natural, they also invite the other person to respond in a relaxed way without feeling overwhelmed. However, breaking the ice is just the beginning. Once you start the conversation, it's essential to keep it interesting and flowing. This is where questions play a crucial role, but not just any questions. Instead of opting for something superficial like, "Where are you from?" consider something that invites deeper reflection, such as, "If you could move anywhere in the world, where would it be, and why?" These types of questions not only spark curiosity, but also create an opportunity to get to know the other person on a more meaningful level. The Stoics teach us that true connections aren't based on superficiality, but on the exchange of authentic ideas and emotions. This means avoiding the trap of empty compliments or comments about physical appearance, especially if you don't yet have enough rapport with the person. Instead, focus on what truly matters, their thoughts, passions, and experiences. For instance, you could ask something like, "Is there an experience that has profoundly shaped you?" Or, "What would you do if you weren't afraid of failing?" These questions not only keep the conversation engaging, but also show that you have a genuine interest in getting to know the person. This is crucial because everyone seeks to be seen and valued for who they truly are, not for a superficial facade. Stoicism also teaches us the importance of full presence in our interactions. While talking to someone, practice being completely present in the moment. Listen actively, make eye contact, and respond thoughtfully. This not only improves the quality of the conversation, but also builds trust and fosters a deeper connection. Additionally, don't fear silences. The Stoics understood that silence isn't an enemy, but an opportunity to reflect and recalibrate. If you feel the conversation pauses at any point, instead of filling the space with unnecessary words, let the silence flow. Often, these moments can lead to deeper thoughts or even a shift in the conversation that might result in something even more interesting. Finally, remember that it's not about impressing or controlling the interaction, but about creating a space where both parties feel comfortable being authentic. Authenticity will always be more powerful than any rehearsed phrase or exaggerated gesture. The most memorable conversations aren't those that follow a perfect script, but those that arise spontaneously and genuinely. So the next time you face the challenge of breaking the ice, remember these Stoic teachings. Be authentic, listen attentively, and focus on what truly matters. Because in the end, the best connections aren't based on grand gestures, but on small moments of sincerity that leave a lasting impression. Stoic Key 3. Do not force commonalities. Embrace differences. At some point, we've all experienced that conversation that feels like a hidden questionnaire. What's your favorite food? Do you like the same shows as I do? Do our favorite summer songs match? Suddenly, it feels like you're taking an emotional compatibility test, trying to answer correctly to fit what the other person expects of you. But here's the problem. Desperately seeking commonalities isn't the foundation of a real connection. Stoic philosophy teaches us that authenticity and accepting reality as it is are far more valuable than any attempt to force a perfect match. In the game of love and seduction, this translates to a simple yet powerful principle. You don't need to have the same tastes or hobbies to deeply connect with someone. In fact, differences, when approached with respect and curiosity, can be far more enriching. Imagine this scenario. You're in a conversation and, instead of speaking about what truly interests or moves you, you start desperately searching for points in common to score points. Perhaps you feign interest in something you're not passionate about, just because you know the other person likes it. By doing so, you're not only denying a part of yourself, but also creating a connection based on an illusion. This is neither authentic nor sustainable. Stoicism reminds us that true peace and connection are not found in similarities, but in accepting things as they are. It's not about creating a mirror of the other person, but about showing yourself as you truly are, with your differences, your opinions, and your authenticity. In love, as in life, being genuine is infinitely more attractive than trying to be a perfect version that doesn't really exist. Why is embracing differences so important? Because differences aren't barriers. They're opportunities to learn, grow, and see the world from a new perspective. If we only sought people who are exactly like us, our relationships would be boring, predictable, and limited. Differences spark curiosity, invite exploration, and enrich our experiences. For example, if you're talking to someone who loves sports and you know nothing about them, instead of pretending interest or quickly changing the topic, you could say something like, "I've never really understood much about sports, but I'd love to know what you're most passionate about in them." This approach not only demonstrates authenticity, but also opens the door to a deeper and more genuine conversation. The key is to let the conversation flow without forcing it. Don't try to manipulate the dialogue to get answers that ensure compatibility. If the connection is real, the pieces will fall into place naturally, not because you force them, but because you're both being sincere. There will be moments of disagreement, awkward moments, and that's okay. True love isn't about avoiding differences, but embracing them and growing through them. When you try to be someone you're not to please another person, you're not only betraying yourself, but also missing the opportunity to build an authentic relationship. The other person is falling for a mask, not for you. But when you show up as you truly are, without embellishments or filters, you allow the connection to be real, letting the other person see and appreciate your true essence. Stoicism invites us to reflect on what really matters in our interactions. It's not about finding someone who shares all the same interests, but about building a connection based on honesty, respect, and vulnerability. This is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. Remember, love isn't about finding what you lack, but about being completely yourself and allowing the other person to be equally free. The real magic isn't in a never-ending list of commonalities, but in the courage to be yourself, even when that means accepting that you won't always agree on everything. So the next time you find yourself in a conversation trying to prove that you're compatible, stop. Instead of searching for that perfect match, focus on sharing what truly matters to you and listening attentively to what the other person has to say. Because in the end, the most genuine love isn't based on mirrors, but on bridges. If you've made it this far, it's because you're ready to understand how authenticity and calm can transform your relationships. Subscribe and comment. Being yourself is the ultimate act of seduction, to affirm your commitment to real and deep connections. This is just the first step toward a confident and purposeful way of relating. When you reach the 8th key, you'll discover an essential approach that will forever change how you create genuine bonds. Don't miss it. It could be the beginning of something extraordinary. Let's continue. Stoic Key 4. Speaking and listening, the magic of true presence. Have you ever found yourself in a conversation where you're speaking, but it feels like your words are bouncing off an invisible wall? Perhaps the other person smiles mechanically, nods without really paying attention, or worse, gets lost in their phone, tossing out an occasional "okay" on autopilot. It's frustrating, isn't it? That disconnection serves as a clear reminder that while words can be interesting, the true power of a conversation lies not only in the content, but in the connection it creates. Stoicism, with its focus on virtue and empathy, invites us to deeply reflect on the art of conversation. It's not just about talking, it's about listening with intention. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's great masters, taught us that clinging solely to our own perspectives limits us, closing the door to understanding others. Similarly, a one-sided conversation where only one person talks loses all its magic. The key lies in balance, learning to speak with authenticity and listen with genuine attention. The impact of listening with the heart. When we truly listen, we communicate something deeper than words. We tell the other person, what you say matters, you matter. This level of attention not only strengthens bonds between people, but also creates a space of trust and openness. However, in a world full of distractions and superficiality, finding someone who truly listens is a rare and valuable gift. Think about your own experiences. When was the last time someone listened to you so attentively that you felt your words genuinely reached their heart? That feeling of being understood, of having every word carry weight, is profoundly powerful. Truly listening is not a passive act. It's an active and transformative gift. Conversely, when someone doesn't pay attention, no matter how interesting you are, the dialogue feels empty. It's like throwing stones into a bottomless well. The energy of the conversation dissolves, along with interest and connection. In such cases, Stoicism teaches us an important lesson. Not all conversations are worth having. If the other person isn't truly present, perhaps it's time to redirect your energy towards someone who values your time and words. The power of asking. Meaningful questions. Talking is easy, but asking questions that spark curiosity and open doors to the other person's inner world is an art. Instead of sticking to superficial comments, aim to inquire authentically. This isn't about being an interrogator, it's about showing genuine interest in getting to know the other person. For example, what's the most meaningful experience you've had recently? What's inspiring you right now in your life? These questions not only break monotony, but also invite the other person to reflect and share something deeper. This level of conversation creates lasting bonds because it focuses not on the superficial, but on the essential. Stoic philosophy and genuine conversation. Stoics teach us that the balance between speaking and listening is fundamental to human understanding. Marcus Aurelius said we shouldn't be so attached to our own opinions that we stop listening to others' perspectives. The humility to accept that we can always learn from others is a virtue that transforms any conversation. When we converse from this perspective, we stop seeing the other person as an adversary or a spectator, and start seeing them as an equal with valuable experiences and lessons to share. This attitude not only enriches dialogue, but also strengthens our ability to empathize and connect authentically. Speak with intention, listen with the heart. Here are some practical strategies for applying this Stoic key. 1. Speak with authenticity. Be honest in your words, but avoid monopolizing the conversation. Every exchange should be a balance of giving and receiving. 2. Listen actively. Pay attention not just to the words, but also to the tone, expressions, and emotions behind what's being said. 3. Pause. Allow space in the conversation for reflection. Sometimes well-placed silences speak louder than words. 4. Show curiosity. Ask open-ended questions that invite the other person to share more about themselves. These questions not only keep the conversation flowing, but also demonstrate genuine interest. 5. Value differences. Don't expect everything the other person says to align with your thoughts. Accept and appreciate differing perspectives as opportunities to grow and learn. Attention, the greatest act of love. Listening attentively not only improves our relationships, but is also a profound expression of respect and love. By being present in a conversation, we tell the other person they are worthy of our time and energy. In a world full of distractions, this mindfulness is a precious gift. On the other hand, if you notice the other person isn't truly listening, don't take their lack of attention personally. Instead, reflect on whether that connection is worth cultivating. As Stoicism teaches, you can't control how others act, but you can control how you respond to their actions. Reflection. The next time you find yourself in a conversation, remember that it's not about impressing with grandiloquent words or seeking perfect phrases. It's about being present, speaking from the heart, and listening with the soul. This is the key to building genuine connections, those that not only last, but also enrich our lives. As Carl Jung said, listening with the heart is the first step to truly winning someone over. Make every conversation an opportunity to connect, learn and share, and watch how this simple shift transforms your relationships and your life. Stoic Key 5. Show yourself as you are. Authenticity as the foundation of charm. Have you ever stopped to reflect on how liberating and powerful it can be to simply be yourself? In a world filled with filters, social expectations, and impossible standards, authenticity has become a rare commodity, and paradoxically, one of the most attractive traits you can display. Authenticity isn't just a cliché piece of advice. It's a deeply Stoic strategy that transforms not only your relationships, but also how you perceive yourself. The Stoics teach us that we cannot control what others think of us, but we can control how we choose to present ourselves. In this context, authenticity doesn't mean being a hot mess or confusing sincerity with carelessness. It's about balance, presenting yourself with your virtues and flaws, without masks, but also without falling into self-indulgence or excessive informality. Authenticity is an act of courage because it means accepting who you are and being willing to share that with the world. The trap of pretending and its consequences. In the effort to fit in or impress, many people end up creating false versions of themselves. They adopt a facade of perfection, decorated with anecdotes that aren't entirely true and opinions they believe others want to hear. But here's the problem. Pretending isn't just exhausting, it's also ineffective. Humans have an incredible ability to detect incongruence. Even if we don't always verbalize it, we can sense when someone isn't being genuine. That feeling that something is off creates an immediate disconnection, destroying any chance of building a solid relationship. As Epictetus said, no matter how much we try to control appearances, the truth will always find a way to surface. Additionally, constantly pretending to be someone you're not comes at an internal cost. Pretending generates anxiety, insecurity, and a disconnection from yourself. It's like carrying a heavy costume that eventually wears you down. Conversely, showing yourself as you truly are frees you from that burden, allowing you to build real connections based on honesty and mutual respect. Authenticity. According to Stoicism, acceptance and improvement. Stoic philosophy reminds us that authenticity isn't just about being yourself without filter or reflection. It involves two essential pillars. 1. Acceptance. Recognizing your virtues and flaws without judging yourself or trying to be something you're not. 2. Continuous improvement. Working on areas of your life that you can change, not to fit in, but to align your actions with your values. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be one." This advice perfectly applies to authenticity. It's not about appearing perfect or obsessing over what others expect of you. It's about living according to your principles and showing the world your true essence. How to apply authenticity in your relationships. 1. Be honest but not brutal. Sincerity doesn't mean being insensitive. Sharing your thoughts and feelings clearly and respectfully demonstrates confidence and emotional maturity. 2. Accept your flaws. No one is perfect, and that's okay. Showing vulnerability is not only human but also attractive because it creates a space for empathy and connection. 3. Keep a sense of humor. Laughing at your own mistakes is a powerful way to show self-confidence. Humor is a bridge that connects hearts, but use it in moderation to avoid misunderstandings. 4. Avoid comparisons. Don't try to imitate others or compete to stand out. Your value lies in what makes you unique, not in how you measure up to others. 5. Listen and respond authentically. True connection doesn't come from monologues, but from genuine dialogues where both parties feel valued. The balance between authenticity and improvement. While being authentic is essential, so is striving to grow and improve continuously. Authenticity shouldn't be an excuse to justify negative behaviors or lack of effort. For example, if you have a bad habit that affects your relationships, like constantly interrupting or not paying attention, being authentic doesn't mean holding on to that habit. Authenticity should go hand in hand with the commitment to becoming a better version of yourself. The Stoics inspire us to balance self-acceptance with self-improvement. Recognizing our imperfections is the first step, but the real work lies in transforming them into strengths. This not only enhances your relationships, but also boosts your confidence and personal well-being. Authenticity in action, stories that connect. Imagine meeting someone at a gathering and instead of talking about your achievements or trying to impress with grandiose anecdotes, you share a simple but meaningful experience, something that taught you an important lesson about yourself. These kinds of genuine conversations leave a much deeper impact than any attempt to appear perfect. For example, instead of exaggerating about a trip you never took, you might talk about how a simple walk through your city helped you rediscover the beauty of small things. This level of sincerity invites the other person to share as well, creating a space for authentic connection. Reflection. The genuine always wins. At the end of the day, authenticity is the most powerful attribute you can cultivate. It's not about having the perfect words or impressing with grand gestures. It's about being yourself, with your light and shadows, and allowing others to know you for who you truly are. As an old saying goes, people don't fall in love with perfection, they fall in love with what's genuine. This idea resonates deeply with Stoic philosophy, which encourages us to live with integrity, accepting who we are and always seeking to improve. So next time you find yourself trying to impress someone, pause for a moment and ask yourself, am I showing who I really am? Because in the end, the only thing you need to truly captivate someone is the courage to be yourself. Stoic Key 6. Ask for their opinion, connecting through active listening. Have you ever found yourself in the middle of a conversation only to realize you've unintentionally turned the dialogue into a monologue? You speak passionately, share your ideas, and expect the other person to be just as excited as you are, only to be met with an awkward silence. It's not that you're a bad conversationalist, it's that you may have forgotten a fundamental principle of human relationships, the importance of listening and asking for the other person's opinion. The Stoics, masters of communication and introspection, remind us that true connection doesn't come from imposing our ideas, but from creating a space where both parties can express themselves and feel valued. Speak only when what you have to say is better than silence, said Epictetus, and this advice is pure gold when it comes to building meaningful relationships. Why asking for their opinion transforms the conversation. Asking someone's opinion isn't just a polite gesture, it's a powerful strategy that demonstrates genuine interest and fosters connection. Deep down, everyone wants to feel like their ideas matter. When you ask someone what they think, you not only open the door to a richer conversation, but also make them feel that their perspective is valuable. This simple act can completely change the tone of an interaction, transforming a superficial exchange into an authentic and meaningful dialogue. Additionally, asking for someone's opinion disrupts the dynamic of a one-sided conversation. Instead of focusing solely on your thoughts, you invite the other person to participate, share their views, and help create a balanced dialogue. This dynamic not only improves the quality of the conversation, but also builds trust and empathy. How to apply this principle effectively? 1. Ask open-ended questions. Instead of asking questions that only require a yes or no answer, opt for ones that invite reflection. For example, instead of asking, "Do you like this movie?" try, "What do you think about this movie? Do you think it meets everyone's expectations?" This approach not only encourages the other person to share more, but also shows your genuine interest in listening. 2. Adapt the topic to the context. If it's your first time talking to someone, avoid overly personal or controversial topics. Start with light and engaging subjects, like their opinion on a popular series, a current trend, or even a place you both know. This creates a relaxed atmosphere for the exchange. 3. Create a safe space. When you ask for someone's opinion, make sure not to judge or interrupt them. Listen attentively and respond in a way that encourages the conversation to continue. For example, if someone shares something you don't agree with, instead of criticizing, you could say, "That's interesting. I hadn't thought of it that way. Why do you think that?" The art of avoiding the know-it-all trap. A common pitfall when asking for someone's opinion is the temptation to correct or impose your viewpoint right after they share theirs. This can quickly extinguish their interest. The key is to show genuine curiosity, not to validate your own ideas. For instance, if you're discussing Stoic philosophy and someone offers a different interpretation, resist the urge to correct them. Instead, delve into their perspective. "That's fascinating. I hadn't considered it that way. How did you arrive at that conclusion?" This approach not only enriches the conversation, but also strengthens the connection by showing respect for their viewpoint. When the conversation flows, balancing depth and lightness. Not all conversations need to turn into deep philosophical debates. Knowing how to balance light topics with moments of deeper reflection is essential for keeping the interaction engaging and dynamic. For example, you might start by talking about something casual, like a movie or restaurant, and then steer the conversation toward more meaningful topics. I love how this movie highlights the importance of tough decisions. Have you ever had to choose between something you wanted and something you knew was necessary? This kind of transition shows interest and depth without overwhelming the other person. The role of silence in connection. Another important Stoic lesson is learning to value silence. Sometimes the best moments in a conversation don't happen in the words, but in the shared silences. These silences aren't empty. They are spaces that allow for reflection, processing and feeling the other person's presence. If you find yourself in an awkward pause, don't rush to fill it with words. Instead, smile, maintain eye contact, and let the moment flow naturally. This approach not only eases the pressure, but also creates a more relaxed and authentic atmosphere. Reflection, connecting through active listening. Speaking without listening is like trying to dance without music. It lacks rhythm, emotion, and purpose. The Stoics teach us that true communication isn't about who speaks the most or who has the best ideas. It's about who can listen attentively and respond authentically. The next time you find yourself in a conversation, remember that asking for the other person's opinion not only enriches the dialogue, but also demonstrates respect, interest, and empathy. In the art of connecting and charming, it's not about having the best answers. It's about asking the best questions. As Carl Jung said, listening with the heart is the first step to truly captivating someone. Make every conversation an opportunity to build a bridge between two worlds, and you'll see your relationships transform. If Stoicism resonates with your life, and you feel this content nourishes your journey toward greater wisdom and balance, join our exclusive community of members. Your support not only allows us to continue creating content, but also helps us impact and transform the lives of more people who need this knowledge and guidance on their path. More details in the pinned comment. Let's continue. Stoic Key 7. Connect through their surroundings. Break the ice naturally. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where someone catches your attention and you feel the need to approach them, but doubts and nerves paralyze you? Engaging with the people around that person, instead of diving straight in, can be the key to breaking the ice effectively and naturally. This isn't about using pre-rehearsed lines or theatrical gestures. It's about leveraging social dynamics to create an authentic connection. The Stoics, great observers of human nature, emphasized the importance of accepting what we cannot control and focusing on what we can. Applying this principle means letting go of worries about how you'll be perceived and instead enjoying the moment by genuinely interacting with the people around you. The power of engaging with the group. Imagine you're at a social gathering, an event, or even a cafe, and you notice the person you're interested in is surrounded by friends. What do? Instead of waiting for a perfect moment that may never come, take the first step by engaging with the group. Talking to the group not only offers an opportunity to test the waters, but also shows that you're a sociable and confident person. Interacting with the group creates a relaxed atmosphere and removes the pressure of approaching that person directly. Observing how they interact with their friends can also give you valuable insights into their personality, interests, and values, essential if you're looking for a deeper connection. Practical tips for interacting with their surroundings. 1. Start with light, universal topics. You don't need to open with a grand philosophical reflection. Talk about something simple and related to the context. What do you think of the music playing? Or, this party has such a great vibe, doesn't it? This approach breaks the ice and sets a friendly, relaxed tone. 2. Observe before you speak. Take a moment to analyze the group dynamics. Who seems to lead the conversation? What topics are they interested in? This observation helps you tailor your approach and ensure your comments are relevant and well received. 3. Be authentic and avoid extremes. Don't try to impress everyone with exaggerated stories or force yourself to be the center of attention. Simply be yourself, showing genuine interest in what others have to say. The importance of not taking yourself too seriously. Stoic philosophy teaches us that while we cannot control how others react, we can control our attitude toward situations. If you decide to approach the group and the interaction doesn't go as expected, don't see it as a failure. Instead, view it as an experience and an opportunity to learn. Adopting a relaxed attitude allows you to enjoy the moment without undue pressure or expectations. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." Maintain a positive, open mindset and let things unfold naturally. Connecting with the group gives you more than an opportunity. Talking to the group not only opens the door to a potential connection with the person you're interested in, but also helps you create a positive and approachable impression. Strong relationships don't always begin with direct impact. They often start with small interactions that build trust and comfort. Additionally, showing that you can relate to different kinds of people adds a layer of appeal. Someone who is authentic and genuine with everyone around them is perceived as confident, trustworthy, and easy to get along with. These qualities are fundamental in any relationship, whether friendly or romantic. How Stoic philosophy guides this approach. The Stoics teach us to accept uncertainty and avoid obsessing over specific outcomes. Talking to the group instead of focusing solely on the person you're interested in is a perfect example of this principle. Rather than pressuring yourself to create an immediate connection, you allow yourself to explore social dynamics naturally. As Seneca said, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. By engaging with their surroundings, you create the conditions for a genuine connection to occur without forcing it. Reflection. Enjoy the moment. Connect authentically. The next time you find yourself in a situation where someone interests you, remember that the key isn't in conquest tactics or rehearsed lines. It's about being yourself, interacting with their surroundings, and enjoying the moment. By connecting with the group first, you demonstrate confidence, authenticity, and an innate ability to adapt to any social situation. As Brian Tracy aptly put it, the true art is not in impressing, but in learning to enjoy the moment. Trust this approach, and you'll see opportunities to connect arise more smoothly and naturally. Stoic Key 8. Create small surprises. The magic in the details. Have you ever wondered what truly strengthens and sustains a romantic connection? No, we're not talking about Hollywood cliches with grand gestures and perfectly orchestrated happy endings. The real impact lies in the small surprises, those spontaneous, sincere gestures that ignite a spark amidst the routine of daily life. Stoic philosophy offers a powerful lesson here. The greatness of life doesn't lie in extraordinary moments, but in how we handle the everyday. It's in those small acts of attention and authenticity where the real magic of love resides. Why? Small surprises. Work surprises don't have to be grand to be meaningful. In fact, small gestures often have a greater impact because they're unexpected and genuine. A simple message in the middle of a busy day, bringing someone a coffee at work, or remembering something they mentioned in what seemed like a trivial conversation can be more valuable than any expensive gift. These little moments create a deep connection because they break the monotony. They're reminders that someone is thinking of you, even during the simplest and most ordinary times. More importantly, these surprises reflect genuine attention and care, two fundamental elements in building a solid and authentic relationship. Surprises and their connection to Stoicism. The Stoics taught us to live in the present, act with intention, and expect nothing in return. Applying this philosophy to love means focusing on the moment and expressing affection spontaneously without worrying about expectations or results. You don't need to wait for a special occasion to surprise someone. An unexpected gesture can turn an ordinary day into an unforgettable moment. The Stoics emphasized that happiness doesn't depend on grand achievements, but on our ability to appreciate the small things. For instance, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." When applied to a relationship, this could translate to the quality of your actions and daily gestures defines the depth of your connection with another person. How to create authentic and meaningful surprises. 1. Pay attention to the details. Listen carefully to what the person mentions in daily conversations. Maybe they've talked about a place they want to visit or something they'd like to try. Remembering these little details and acting on them shows genuine interest. 2. Act spontaneously. The best surprises aren't meticulously planned but arise in the moment. An unexpected message like, "I thought of you," can be incredibly powerful. 3. Keep it simple but special. You don't need to spend a lot of money to surprise someone. A walk in the park at sunset, a handwritten note, or a gesture related to something they love can be more meaningful than an expensive gift. 4. Break the routine. Plan something that breaks the monotony of the day-to-day, such as suggesting a new activity or simply changing up your usual dynamic. Even the simplest gestures can become unforgettable memories when infused with authenticity. Authenticity, the key ingredient. What makes these small surprises truly special is their authenticity. It's not about impressing or meeting an idealized romantic standard. It's about connecting from the heart and showing that you value the other person for who they are. An authentic gesture not only impacts the other person, but also allows you to experience the joy of giving without expecting anything in return. This mindset, deeply stoic in nature, frees you from expectations and lets you fully enjoy the moment. Examples of small surprises you can try. An unexpected message. Just wanted you to know I'm thinking of you. A meaningful gesture, taking them to a place they mentioned in a past conversation. A shared memory, repeating an activity that was special to both of you in the past. An act of service, doing something for them without being asked, like preparing their favorite meal or helping with a task. A symbolic gift, something with personal significance, like a book that reminds you of a conversation you had. The Stoic lesson: magic lies in small moments. The Stoics believed in finding happiness in what we have now, not in what we might achieve in the future. This philosophy teaches us to appreciate and create meaningful moments without waiting for perfect circumstances. As Seneca said, life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, but about learning to dance in the rain. In the context of love, this means you don't need grand gestures to show your affection. A simple act of attention and authenticity can have a profound and lasting impact. Reflection. Let the details speak for you. The next time you want to show your affection, remember it's not about grand gestures, but about the details that come from a place of authenticity. Small moments are what truly matter, as they reflect who you are and how much you care about the other person. In the words of the Stoics, do what is within your power and let the rest flow. Surprising someone isn't a task. It's an opportunity to show your essence and create lasting memories. Stoic Key 9. Share something special about your life. Genuine connection. Have you ever thought that the secret to winning someone's heart doesn't lie in grand gestures, but in the small truths you share about yourself? This isn't about bragging about your accomplishments or repeating predictable lines from a dating playbook. It's about opening an authentic window into your world, sharing something that truly defines you. Stoic philosophy teaches us that strength isn't found in what we show on the surface, but in what we carry within. Revealing what makes you unique isn't about impressing. It's about connecting. Why sharing something special? Matter's genuine connection doesn't stem from perfection or achievements. It comes from authenticity. Talking about success is easy, but sharing something that reveals who you truly are is far more meaningful. People fall in love with what's real, not with what you try to project. For instance, imagine you enjoy playing the guitar. You don't need to talk about how you've mastered every chord or impress with technicalities. What truly connects is explaining how that passion helps you express yourself, or how a specific song marked an important moment in your life. The Stoic approach: sharing from authenticity. The Stoics emphasized the importance of knowing oneself and living according to one's true essence. Sharing something special about your life isn't a tactic to impress, but an act of courage and honesty. 1. Embrace your uniqueness. Everyone has something that makes them unique, whether it's a passion, a hobby, or an experience that shaped their life. Sharing this is a way of showing your humanity. 2. Don't fear vulnerability. Speaking about what truly moves you can be intimidating, but it's also deeply attractive. Vulnerability is the bridge that connects two souls. 3. Value the present. Instead of focusing on what the other person might think, concentrate on the act of sharing. As the Stoics would say, you can't control how others react, but you can control what you decide to reveal. How to share something special about your life. 1. Choose a significant story or experience. You don't need an epic tale. Sometimes the simplest anecdotes are the most impactful. For example, how you discovered your love for painting, or how a book changed your perspective on life. 2. Be specific. Instead of saying, "I like to travel," share how a particular trip changed your worldview. Speaking from detail makes your words more memorable. 3. Focus on the emotions. Connection doesn't lie in the what, but in the why. How did you feel in that moment? What did you learn? This allows the other person not just to understand, but to feel what you're sharing. 4. Avoid trying to impress. This isn't about listing achievements, but opening a window into your world. Speak from the heart, not from the ego. A practical example. If your passion is photography, don't talk about equipment and techniques. Instead, share a photo you took and explain what it means to you. Perhaps it's an image you captured during a tough time, and that photo became a reminder of your resilience. These kinds of stories not only show who you are, but also let the other person see your world from your perspective. The impact of sharing authenticity. When you share something special, you're inviting the other person to know you beyond the superficial. You're saying, "This is me. These are my passions, my stories, my lessons." Not everyone will be interested, but those who stay will do so for who you truly are, not who you're trying to be. The Stoics taught that we shouldn't worry about others' approval, but focus on being authentic. When you share from a place of authenticity, you create a connection that transcends the ephemeral. Reflection. Connection emerges from what's real. The next time you want to connect with someone, forget the masks and embellishments. Share something special about yourself, something that defines you and shows your humanity. As Mario Alonso Puig said, "Don't fall in love with what you show. Fall in love with who you are." In the end, love isn't about fitting into an ideal or impressing with perfection. True love arises when two people dare to be completely themselves, ready to connect from authenticity, because it's there, in what's genuine, where the true magic lies, what really matters. At the end of the day, we all seek genuine connections, authentic moments that remind us why it's worth sharing our lives with someone else. But how often do we stop to reflect on whether what we're seeking is truly what we need? Society has taught us to measure love by grand gestures, perfect words, or superficial similarities. Yet what if what truly matters isn't what we show, but what we allow others to see in us? Perhaps the question isn't, how do I make someone fall in love with me? But rather, how can I be someone worthy of love, starting with myself? Maybe instead of seeking strategies to impress, we should reflect on what it means to be authentic, to genuinely connect with other human beings. In this world filled with distractions, expectations, and masks, what if the true act of bravery was simply being yourself? What impact could it have if we dared to stop chasing perfection and instead embraced our imperfections as the source of our humanity? We leave you with these questions, not to give you answers, but to invite you to explore what it truly means to love and be loved. Because in the end, the most valuable thing isn't what we conquer, but whom we allow into our world and how we choose to share it. And you? Are you ready to show yourself as you truly are? I'm excited to hear your stories of growth on this topic. Share your victories, challenges, and experiences in the comments. If you're unsure what to write, type. Connecting from the soul transcends any strategy to show that you've completed this session. Don't forget to subscribe if this content resonates with you and aligns with your values for living with Stoic wisdom. Your voice is essential here. Every reflection strengthens and elevates our community, reflecting the true value of each individual and contributing to our shared Stoic identity. Are you ready to face life with a stronger and more peaceful mind? The Path of Wisdom, Modern Stoicism for Daily Life, will give you the keys to developing resilience, clarity, and balance every day. Click the first link in the description for a 40% discount and start your journey today toward a life of wisdom and inner strength. If Stoicism resonates with your life and you feel that this content nourishes your path to greater wisdom and balance, join our exclusive members community. Your support not only allows us to continue creating content, but also to impact and transform the lives of more people who need this knowledge and guidance on their journey. More details in the pinned comment. We'll see each other in our next meeting in Stoicism for Winners, where we'll continue to explore the riches of Stoic wisdom applied to modern life. Now take this opportunity to expand your understanding of Stoicism with new recommended sessions. Until we meet again, remember, you are the sole owner of your perception, the creator of your peace, and the warrior of your own battles. This is the legacy of Stoicism, the art of being invincible.